Hi everyone, my name's Hannah and I am the Education Coordinator for BNI Silk in Macclesfield. Today I'm just going to give you an example education slot just to show you what we do in our chapter, and it's all about how to invite visitors. So I'm just going to share my screen. Get the slideshow going. So here we go. So inviting visitors. Now, the first thing you need to think about when inviting visitors is where to look. Where can we find these potential visitors or guests to come along to the meeting? The most obvious one that people tend to go to first is your own contacts and your clients, which is obviously a fantastic way of introducing them to the group because you already know them. So every meeting that you have a think about if they mentioned anything about starting up a new business recently or mentioned about wanting to grow their business. It's always worth asking the question and see if they want to come along for a meeting. The second one is adverts, which can come in lots of different forms. Obviously, you get your radio adverts, which you might get on local radios, which are a really good one. Also, you do often get flyers and things like that through your doors. I always keep hold of those, and then it's worth, if there's an email address on there, just dropping them an email or finding their Facebook page and just have a look at the type of post that they're posting, things like that, and then see if you want to approach them from that or by email. And then the last one, which is probably proven the most successful in our group, is looking at local Facebook groups. So for us, we've got things like the Macclesfield chat and the Congleton chat. What we tend to do is look at anyone promoting their own businesses or anyone showing pictures of their work, asking people to get into contact. And I think that's a really good opportunity to just send them a quick message and say, look, seeing that you're trying to promote your business, I'm actually part of a local networking group. Would you like to come along for a meeting? And we've had quite a good success rate from that. So that's a really good one to look out for. If you're not in the groups already, then it's definitely worth joining them. So the second thing to think about is how to invite. So as I just said, the most important thing I think is keeping it casual. You don't want to overface them or go in with a really big long paragraph that's going to put them off. Just send a simple message, just saying this is what we do. We've got a really good opportunity. Would you like to come along? No obligation, and we'd love to meet you and have a chat with you. And then that's more than enough. You'll be able to see from that how they view it. Some people will come back and say, no, I've tried networking before, it's not for me. Others won't have heard of it, and they'll be really appreciative that you've messaged them, and then they're the ones that are more likely to come along. One thing that I think is key to remember is that any business that is advertising on social media platforms such as Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram, they are putting their name out there to get noticed, so they're not going to be offended by a little message. And if they're not interested, they'll say no, and then that's it. So don't let that put you off, because most of them will be appreciative that their names come up and that they've been noticed by somebody. So that sort of leads on to this next point, which is having the right mindset. We need to sort of view inviting visitors as you offering them the potential to grow their business. You're not inviting somebody for your own benefit or to try and sell something to them. You're often offering them an opportunity to make their business grow and do better for themselves, really. So I think having that mindset is the biggest part to it. Once you start believing that you're doing that, then you will find it so much easier to invite people along, because the confidence is going to come through, and then the people that you do invite that end up joining will be really grateful that you sent that little message that you nearly didn't send. So we do say that obviously networking is not for everybody, but a lot of people have tried it, haven't tried it before, and some don't even know that it exists, especially the new startups, which there's been a lot of new businesses starting up over the last couple of years since people losing their jobs and things. So it's always worth asking a question, because you never know, you might never have heard of it before and it might be perfect for them. And then the last point is, once you've got your visitor and you've got them ready to come, make sure that you follow up with them before the meeting. This is super, super important, because you could speak to somebody one week. For example, I tend to do my power hour after we've had our meeting. So I'll do that, I'll invite those visitors. I might speak to someone one week. They could agree to come. If I left it then another week, they might have either forgotten or they might think that I've forgotten. And it's quite daunting turning up to a meeting full of lots of different people that you don't know, you've never met before. So always send them a little message. I'd give them a call, depends on whatever you feel comfortable with or how you've spoken to them before. Just make sure they're still happy with everything, make sure they've got everything they need. And I'd just give them a bit of an overview of how the meeting works, and so they know what to expect from it. Because again, you don't want them to be put on the spot when they've got to say 60 seconds and having not prepared anything. So just give them a little bit of an overview to it, and then make sure they're happy. And hopefully, if we all sort of try and do these little points, then we'll be able to increase our visitors as well. So that's everything for today. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.